Nearing the end of this section on ad creatives, it's time to provide you some more advanced ideas and tactics to improve your ad imagery. Now, these subtle techniques have been used throughout the advertising industry for so long, I can't even give you an accurate estimation. Now, they range from the absurd to the completely understandable. And I think it's important to go over all of these. These are my top 10. There are so many more, but these are my top 10. I think it's important to discuss these and cover these in this course because so many people that work on Facebook ads, coming from, for example, an e-commerce background or a digital marketing background, they don't really understand any psychology behind ad imagery. So this video aims to clear that up. So number one, color psychology. If you've taken my Shopify course, you'll understand and will know about color psychology. However, color psychology works differently in advertising than in e-commerce. For example, in advertising, reds promote excitement, oranges good vibes and warmth, and the same for yellows. Whereas in e-commerce, red is danger and a warning sign. So they work differently. Greens in advertising represent wildlife, environment, and general well-being, and blues show strength, solidarity, and dependability. Number two, model eye contact. Having your model look directly at the camera means they're making eye contact with the people who see the ad. People scrolling Facebook aren't going to stop at an image of some random person looking into the distance or looking some random way. However, they're more likely to stop scrolling if you can disrupt their pattern, disrupt what they're expecting to see, and instead show them a big photo of your model staring directly at them. They're going to feel really, really intensely and instantly engaged. And the eye contact itself shows strength and belief behind the brand and the product being advertised. Number three is about composition. It's the rule of thirds. You may have heard of it if you've ever done any photography or things like that. Basically, you divide the canvas that you're using to create your ad image into a grid of 9 equal squares, and you place the key focal points on the intersections. If you've got Photoshop, you can do this really, really easily. 4 is the power of association. Whatever is going on in your ad image, the emotions of the people in that image are going to be associated with the product being advertised. For example, the people doing stretches in the background of a fitness ad. The idea of fitness and well-being and being active and being out in the open is going to be associated with the product, whereas you're not really going to see an image of a fitness product in front of people sat down talking under a tree or playing board games, whatever, because the association of challenging your mind and puzzle solving with fitness products just isn't a good fit. Number 5 is quite complex and advanced, and it's hard to really to explain, but shapes to guide the eye. The use of lines and other shapes and vectors to guide the eye around the ad. Guide the viewer from one place to the other and finally down toward your call to action or toward the offer that you really want to promote and make really blatant. Let's say you've got someone stood in the middle of the room and your camera's high up, so you can catch part of the ceiling above your model that's in the center of the image. So pretend this is part of the ceiling, this arrow. And this is the other part of the ceiling. And then obviously when the two parts of the ceiling meet, you have the wall coming down and you have a little crevice that comes down like that. And obviously you have your model here. There we go. So this is our model, this is our person. Let me just remove this box. So as you can see, we have the ceiling, the actual lines of the ceiling and the architecture of the room are providing shapes and lines that guide the eye, and they're automatically, very subtly, but automatically guided towards looking here, and then they follow this line down to the model. However, if we have the model stood in the middle of the room instead of the corner, which they are now, we no longer have this line, we no longer have this line, we no longer have this line. They're just stood in front of a blank wall, and now there's much less guidance for the eye. 6 is symbolism and the associations with it. Why do you always see crystals and jewellery and diamonds accompanied by water or liquid in adverts? It's because the water represents purity and clarity, and therefore only the purest diamonds are associated with it. So it reinforces the product's value. Similarly, if you're in the UK, you'll probably remember the old M&S video ads on TV where there'd be a woman biting into some chocolate dessert really slowly or something. And it'd be a black background, darkness, red lips and stuff like that. And that's all about the sexuality of the advert, which makes sense because chocolate's an aphrodisiac. Number 7 is immersive point of view. Taking the photo or image from the perspective of the viewer. The hands are using the product in front of the lens, and it makes the viewer feel like they're immersed in the ad. It's as if the hands in the ad are theirs, and they themselves are using the product already, as if they already own it. It's often used with mobile phone products, rings, bracelets, and pretty much anything that you can, use with your hands. Number 8 is social proof. Using quotes in your ads from past customers along with starred reviews should increase CTR and reduce CPC. Try adding a testimonial in the description part of a single image or carousel ad and see how it goes. Now, I'll go into this in a lot further detail and how to get this, these reviews and other user-generated content. I go into this a lot further into the course. Number 9 is right-handedness. Right-handedness is more common than left-handedness, so put your item in the right hand of your model. It's a commonly done thing across advertising, and if you're not doing it, then you should be. Finally, number 10 is models matching your audience. I can't stress how important this is. If you're selling to women, you need to use a woman in your ad. You can't sell to women using a man because they're not going to be able to relate to the person in the ad, and that is what you need them to do. You need them to relate to the people in your ad and what you are selling. They need to be able to visualize themselves using the product, and it's easier to do that if you can use someone similar to them in your ad's imagery. If you're selling a product to OAPs, maybe you're selling a lumbar support product or something like that. Maybe you should use a nursing home as the setting for your ad imagery. If you're selling to high schoolers in New England, maybe use a high schooler wearing a Patriots t-shirt or something like that. You get the idea. So those are the top 10 tips that I think you guys need to know. Whether you want to put them into practice or not is completely up to you, but there's some awesome ideas here that are going to help you up your advertising creative game